Thank you everyone for joining us. My name is Ethan Singal, and I'm here from Greentank along with my colleague Allister Warren. And we'll be talking to you a little bit about Greentank and more generally about the business of vape. And throughout, I understand there's a live chat feature here, so if you have any questions, feel free to jump in. We're excited to be here. We're excited to be participating in Growth from Home for the first time. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so a little bit more about myself. I'm a marketing project manager here at Greentank. I've been lucky to be with the business since its inception, and my focus is to continue to build our brand awareness as a dominant player in the vape space. A little bit more about who we are and what we do. In a bit more formal language here, we're a business-to-business technology company that specializes in the design, development, and manufacturing of high-performance vape hardware. So really what that means is we're a white label provider to a lot of the biggest names in the space, and that includes licensed producers, retailers, brands, and extractors. The analogy that I like to use is that Greentank is to vape hardware what Intel is to computer hardware. We have this symbiotic relationship with a lot of our partners, and we often play behind the scenes. Now, Greentank is a Canadian-based company. We also have an office in California as well as China, and we're partnered with a lot of great brands in the cannabis space. So in Canada, we're working with 20 of the largest licensed producers, and we're working with 200 brands in the US. I definitely would not be able to name all of these players, but again, we're working with a lot of really great brands out there, and we're hoping to continue that positive trajectory. Now, I'm going to introduce my colleague, Allister Warren, who's an account executive at Greentank. He'll go into a little bit more depth about vape hardware, our product offering, and what separates Greentank from the pack, if you will. A little bit more about Allister. He's been with Greentank for a little over a year and a half. He's been a huge asset to the business. He's helped numerous startup brands grow into prominent industry players. He's done it all. He's worked with small boutiques, large state players, multi-state operators, and he sells everything that we do at Greentank. So that includes our unbranded inventory as well as our highly customized large and monkey manufacturing deals. So without further ado, Allister.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Ethan. And hello and welcome again to everyone to the business of vape. As Ethan mentioned, my name is Allister Warren. I've been with Greentank for a little over a year and a half now. We often joke that it feels like the industry runs in dog years and that a year and a half can feel like 7. So in that sense, I'm somewhat of a veteran, even if just at Greentank. So I'm here today to walk you through what to look for in a hardware manufacturer, along with what Greentank has to offer. So the game plan here isn't necessarily to strictly pitch Greentank, but really identify some of the things that we do as a manufacturer that you should consider with your existing or prospective hardware providers. With that in mind, let's jump right into things. Here's one of our slogans. It's Greentank made or it's anyone's guess. And what we want to draw to attention here is that you should be wanting to work with a compliant and transparent hardware company, regardless of whether it's Greentank or anyone else. The next few slides is going to give some insight into what Greentank does to ensure that our hardware is not only just compliant, but an industry leader from a certification perspective. So starting with our product testing and certifications, Greentank works with a number of partners in Canada, the United States, and China to provide our certifications, which I'll highlight momentarily. All of our procedures and testing is done 100% externally in order to provide independent, unbiased results. A really good example of the work that we do with independent testing labs is ensuring that we're heavy metal compliant in each state that we operate in. So every state has their own testing procedures, rules, nuances, and so forth. So we don't rely solely on our clients to test for themselves. We're constantly engaging with labs from state to state to ensure that we're fully in compliant per local standards. I want to take a peek at some of our product compliance stickers and certifications. So we'll fly through some of our factory certification and product certifications. All of our factories are 100% GMP and ISO certified. In addition, our product lines are also ROSE, UL, CE certified within a number of different variations as well too, and capacities. We're happy to elaborate on some of the details associated with some of these if you do want to follow up after the conference. An integral part, an important question to ask yourself when evaluating a hardware provider is, okay, I've seen the certifications that I just showed above, but how do I know that the standards are being upheld throughout the entire manufacturing process? From Greentank's perspective, to give you some insights, to ensure that all of our devices meet the standards in which that they're certified, Greentank has a 4-step QA/QC process that's reviewed by an 8-person quality control team outlined on this slide. This is an important piece to consider as well. is the company that I'm working for a true manufacturer? Are they just buying and selling on someone else's technology or bill of materials? Are they a distributor? Greentank's fortunate enough to be our own manufacturer, our own designer, our own developer of all of our hardware. And not to get too savvy, but the reason we have slogans like "It's Greentank made" or "It's anyone's guess" or "Believe in what you breathe" is because we do have full oversight over our production, from the bill of material selection all the way through manufacturing and packaging as well too. So everything that we put into this world is Greentank made under a Greentank roof with Greentank employees, and not a lot of hardware providers can say the same. I know a lot of you are interested in, and the main focus of the presentation hovers around some of the hardware that exists underneath the Greentank roof. So we'll fly through a number of our devices here. We won't go through all of them, but we'll focus on two of our more flagship devices along with two of our, I guess, recently released products as well too. So we'll start with our GTCR. This is our most I guess commonly sold cartridge. It's a flagship cartridge for Greentank, and it is a 303 stainless internal componentry device. It has food grade ceramics for the heating elements, and it has a certified child resistant push and lock system to ensure that there's no tampering after these are actually closed themselves. They come in a number of intake hole sizes and customization options. The next device we wanted to highlight today is our GTM7. Really the flagship device for Greentank as a whole. It's a tremendous device. It's a workhorse. It's designed specifically for medium to high viscosity oils and offers a tremendous amount of opportunity for marketing and branding as well too. So I'll jump into customization shortly here, but with an all-in-one wrap device such as our M7, it really allows your brand to stand out from the other devices that you may see on the shelf at your local dispensary. Keeping in line with our disposable lines, but jumping into some of our newer launches is our M3. So very similar in the fact that it does mimic the, I guess, overall process and design of our M7. The actual form factor itself is obviously a little bit more modern and rectangular as opposed to that standard cylindrical form factor that you see a lot of in the industry. But it is an all-in-one device nonetheless. It has that pod kind of aesthetic, but once you seal the mouthpiece on this device, it again is an all-in-one device, breath actuated. The great thing about this device is it actually has short path airway activation. So what that means is rather than having the airflow from the base of the unit all the way through before initiating the heating element, it's actually coming through the top of the unit, and it just creates an incredibly responsive device with respect to vapor output. Let's see here. And then, yes, moving along to our GTDX in the last device that we wanted to highlight today. Our GTDX is our most recently launched cartridge line. Some of the differentiators between this and our other lines are that it has a larger amount of mouthpiece options as well as reservoir sizes. We know that depending on the market that you're in, state to state, or even within states, varying reservoir sizes have varying levels of popularity. So we offer reservoir sizes from a 0.3 all the way up to a 1.0 milliliter. And it's a tremendous opportunity to, again, brand a wonderfully, performing device. And on that branding front, I think it's a perfect segue to jump into our customization, what really Greentank does best. The last slide that I will be reviewing before we pass things over to Ethan is our customization. And as he mentioned at the beginning of the call, Greentank is a white label manufacturer. We're not a dual brand manufacturer. We're 100% about the brands that we work with, and it's our goal to bring your brand to life and set you apart from the other vape products on the shelf. To us, I think I kind of highlighted it during the beginning of the presentation with respect to some of the devices that we have in-house already. That internal componentry is incredibly important to us, and it will always remain supreme, but the extensive list of customization options make our devices unique. Surface finishes such as electroplating, rubber oil finishing, as well as secondary customization such as laser etching and roll printing are all possible with Greentank. And lastly, I guess another thing to consider on the design and marketing front is that, if you don't have an in-house creative or marketing person, Greentank as a company does have an in-house design team and marketing team that can assist with artwork documentation, renders, designs, and so forth as well too. So whether you're evaluating Greentank or another company, it's just important to understand that if you're looking for someone to, I guess, get the creative juices flowing, it's something that you can find at Greentank. So with that being said, I'll pass the ball over to Ethan before he goes ahead and wrap things up.
Awesome. Thanks, Alistair. So I'll talk to you a little bit more about why to work with Greentank, but really you can apply this criteria to vet any vape partner in the space. Now, there are a lot of reasons to work with Greentank, but we'll try and distill it down into a few key pieces here. The first one is product innovation. So we're really proud of the product offering we're currently providing. There's a lot of proprietary innovation and technology that goes into these products, and there's a lot of exciting stuff that happens behind the scenes. We've invested extensively in building a robust vape device lab, both at our North American headquarters as well as our manufacturing partner overseas. In addition, we also have manufacturing expertise through the likes of our chief engineer, who was a 20-year man at Dyson, as well as our chief technology officer, who is on the Chinese space team. So you can see some of the bullets here, but really to summarize the slide, the key point is with an emphasis on product innovation, you get strength of domain knowledge and expedited product development. Strength of manufacturing. Now, this is something to look for when evaluating a vape partner. It's extremely important. Obviously, cannabis is a nascent industry which is rapidly growing. Greentank is only 4 years old, but through our partnership with our manufacturing partner, we have 15 years experience, a 1.3 million square foot facility, and a variety of certifications. We just listed a few here. Something that we like to say at Greentank, as Al mentioned, is we're not a vendor. It's not a vendor relationship, but it's a true partnership. And that works with our manufacturing partner as well. It's owned and operated by Greentank, the facility. And the reason we really emphasize this is that we have full control over the production process and full control over the bill of materials, the materials which are going into your vape. Now, this is hugely important in the cannabis industry and in vape in particular, with all of the rules and regulations and emphasis on safety. You want the peace of mind from a company which is fully integrated, from sourcing the raw materials to reaching the end consumer. We have full insight into that production process. Now, this is my favorite slide, which really sort of summarizes the Greentank approach. But before I get into all the bullets on the left, I really just want to showcase the people on the right. As we love to say at Greentank, I won't hit you over the head with it, but we're not a vendor, we're your partner. And for us, what that really means is we will ensure your brand, whether it's small, medium, or large, is successful in the market. And in our partnership, our relationship doesn't end after you've submitted payment and received your hardware. You can see all of the people on the right side here, and we have experts in a variety of different domains. That includes filling, troubleshooting, customer service, cannabis oil formulation, consulting services, partnerships with BDSA analytics. We're really focused on ensuring that your product is successful in the market and the end user is having a fantastic experience. As we know, cannabis oil is extremely unique, and creating it is sort of an artisanal process, and every oil is different. So as a result, cannabis hardware needs to be equally tailored to ensure that there's the appropriate marriage. To close out, you can see the points here to summarize the Greentank approach. We've touched upon it in this presentation. That includes our proprietary ceramic formulations, our extensive customization, core competencies, and a variety of different domains in engineering. Focus on QC/QA, focus on investment in the future. We're really proud of the technology that we currently have. We're excited for the future of this business as well as the cannabis space in general. And as we like to say, believe in what you breathe. That concludes our presentation, and we really appreciate you making it to the end here and listening to us. And again, if you have any questions, we're more than happy to answer them. And I believe that Allister and I's contact is also listed below or around this presentation as well. So feel free to reach out to us if you would prefer to have a more lengthy conversation. So thank you very much.